Filósofo, you are very welcome, my friend. So nice to be there, see you, and that we can talk even this pandemic, this problem that we have living to this day, and these so bad moments that the humankind is living in. But capoeira always jinga plays with the problem. So, man, you are very welcome, and I invite you to give your first say your first words to the people that are with us. Okay?
Yes, thank you very much, Master Skisyto. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here and to have this this talk with you from the other side of the world almost. No, we should have already have encountered, I think, 2 or 3 times within this COVID period, but unfortunately it didn't happen. So I'm very grateful that that you invited me and that we can talk about a few things.
There's so many that we have been close, and we had already some project and events and travels. But I think that the most important it's our book. That is the matter of our interview. That's philosophical dialogue. So, man, tell me about how are going the things over there in Holland. How are things there?
I think they're a bit like everywhere else in the world. Well, not everywhere else, but we also had the lockdown now of COVID. We're slowly opening up. We couldn't give class for a long time, but some of us continued outside anyway, because that was possible. So I've been training with my kids in the snow, doing capoeira, and for the rest, yes, it's waiting if this whole vaccine program is going to work, and if people can not only return to normal, but also maybe think about how we should continue in a different way, perhaps.
Maybe. Yeah. As capoeira do always. If you have no possibility to play this way, we're going for other side.
Yes, if man is good in one thing, it's adapting, apparently. So so that's what we have to do, and that's also with capoeira. Now there's a lot of different initiatives all around the world, but also here to continue capoeira, to continue to have contact with other people, other groups. And we try what we can. So but
you stay giving class this moment over there?
Yes, I am. I actually just got out of my class. So I gave Instituto Vitamina, which is a friend of mine. He's continuing the class today. But I teach outside in the park with the kids and with the adults.
In the park. It's like me. I'm doing the same here. I'm in the very big place on the minister classes.
Yes. Yeah. And so we're in a certain way we're going back to our history now, to the beginning of capoeira, which was always outside, or as the history tells us.
Yes.
So, now, as a popular activity, a popular art, I think it's good. People like it. People like to see things happening and see what happens, and it's good. Yeah.
Sure. So always we have the opportunity to step on the past and have some approach that how was the life on those time? How was the life when you have no specific space for make capoeira? Or people, there are some people that is following us on the internet, and I invited them to say something on the comments that we can share it and answer you, of course. Filósofo, we have here a possibility to have music and share some images. Anyway, what you want to share with us, we're gonna share it on here on the internet. Okay, for people that are in the YouTube, they can watch it, even video or pictures. Anything, okay? You stay free for share what you want.
Okay.
I have already some one friend of us that is from Angola that is here saying hello. It's Professor Atrapalhado that has a Holland name, Dutch name too, or Van Dunen.
Van Dunem. Yeah.
It's Holland. It's Holland.
It's yeah. It looks like Dutch. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. People from Africa, they are from as a student of mine that they are in Angola. It's a contramaster from Terreiro that it's is teaching on on Luanda. Welcome, my friend Marcílio Renato Vandunin. Ah, malandro, we have some people from Holland there in Luanda too.
Can they?
Philosopher.
Can they actually hear
Okay,
me?
Steve.
Because I just get some messages from people. They say they don't. They only hear you. But
You have comments. You are. Have you seen on the border,
no,
right border of you are in the internet in the computer or in mobile?
on the computer.
In computer, so you have it there
Okay.
on the right side.
Yes, I have the
There's
comments.
comment, banners, print. Have you
Yes,
seen?
I have.
If you click in comment, you can see people what they say,
Yes,
what
I have
they
one. I have
write.
one comment of Marcilio Renato van Dunen. Right?
Yeah,
Yes. Okay.
this is just this until now. But I am inviting people who want to say something that we can share here. Okay, people.
Okay.
Uh, well, man, my friend Filósofo, I know that you have a very great curriculum. I saw and I was impressed at so many things that you are doing in your life, and you look like a very young guy.
Yeah.
How is it possible?
I think those things keep me young. I'm not that young anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Nah, don't be shy. You might have no more than 35 years. Tell me,
Sorry.
how old are you today? 35?
I wish. I wish.
And so tell me,
I'm 40,
Ford?
42. Yes.
42. Oh, God. But you're still very young, man. Very young, young, for sure.
The
It's the
capoeira.
capoeira
The capoeira.
as the vitamin of berimbau.
Exactly. Yes.
Philosopher, let me invite you to play a berimbau for us or any other instrument you want to. We start putting music in our conversation, okay?
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna
Okay.
grab my.
I will stay out and I'll let all the view for you, okay? But I'm here on the studio following and talking to you, okay?
I'm gonna sing. Just so you know, a ladainha, uh,
Okay.
which is actually it's written by Jacaré do Cavaco, which is a musician, Brazilian musician who lives a long time in Paris. Very good on cavaquinho. But it's also my master, Maheta, also sings it a lot, and I really like the ladainha.
Let me ask you, Mestre
Yes.
Marreta, it's following you and it's following us right now, I don't know.
He is. He just sent a message, so I think he is. Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
A big hug, my friend, Mestre Marreta. Go ahead, man.
Eu naveguei com mares antes navegado, no porral acorrentado, no navio negrei. E viajei faz mais de 5 séculos. Oh, meu Deus, não sei se me entrego. Na Bahia eu me descansei. Terra tão linda, de beleza natural. Era aliado de magia, oi, ai, ai, fosse espiritual. Brasil não era a ilha de Veracruz, onde o negro sempre foi força, trabalho, galo de cruz. E assim o tempo foi se passando, disco branco foi escurecendo e o negro foi branqueando. Mas água batei na pedra, tanto bate até que fura. Água batei na pedra, tanto bate até que fura. E salve meus ancestrais, salve a geração futura. E salve a meus ancestrais, salve a geração futura. Reviva meu mestre, reviva meu mestre, camarada, que me ensinou.
Muito bonito, meu irmão. It's from your master. It's right from Mestre Marreta.
Who wrote it is Jacaré de Cavaco, who is a musician. But Mestre Marreta, I think he transformed it into a ladainha. I have to.
Sure.
Yeah, and then he uses a lot as ladainha. Yeah.
But very nice, very beautiful. One thing that we try to show here on this program, man, it's that capoeira has no place. Capoeira is all around the world. Capoeira belongs to the world. And nowadays, we are adopted as a global tradition, heritage from the humankind. So please, we have no anymore any kind of frontline, different language. We have no this problem. Of course, we are talking English here because this problem is made for people that do not speak Portuguese. So to make it easy for them, we talk it in English, but our matter is not English, it's capoeira. So I know that you are someone that since the first moment that I met you, I knew that you were capoeira of soul, someone that brings capoeira on your soul, and anyway, in many other kinds of relationship with the Brazilian cultural expression. And man, you are this kind of capoeirista. You belongs to the capoeira from first of any other things. For me, I was talking today with my student, Mestre Jean, that did our post. Remember that post that I share with you, you share with people. That guy, he is a friend of, she is a student of mine about 30 years or more, 40 years. And we were talking about this point of view, that we have no more foreign people. We have capoeira. Very serious people dedicated to capoeira. And for me, much more than many of Brazilian one that try say that capoeira is something that belongs to Brazil and something things like that. It's a stupid thing for my opinion, on my opinion. But that's why that I want that before we have another performance on the berimbau, I want that you use another instrument that I know I saw you make a very incredible performance using cavaquinho and other instrument that is typical from Brazil. Have you some?
I don't play cavaquinho. I play a little bit of violon, of a guitar, and pandeiro. Sure. I have the zabumba as well. I play in a forró band, so we have a forró band here in the Netherlands. Yeah, I could.
Oh, yeah. But you have a guitar, a violon?
Tem.
So you can sing something that I knew you. I saw you playing something. That moment in German 2 years ago,
Yeah.
exactly 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Exactly 2 years ago. But
Yeah.
the pandemic made us go far. We have not this possibility to be together, but here in this place, at this virtual room, we can play anything, talk about everything, see each other, talk to the people, and show the soul of capoeira that I know that you have, and much more. You have the soul of a very big culture. You explore it, you love it, you play it. So let's show a little bit of this talent that I know that you have, please.
You want me to play?
Okay,
You want to play guitar, right?
okay, okay. Some regional, typical regional music from Brazil, please.
I'll try. Um, yeah. Ai, ai, que bom, que bom, que bom que é uma estrada e uma cabocla e a gente andando a pé. Ai, ai, que bom, que bom, que bom que é uma estrada e a lua branca no sertão de Canindé. Automóvel lá nem se sabe se é homem ou se é mulher. Quem é rico anda em borrico, quem é pobre anda a pé. Mas o pobre vê nas estradas o orvalho beijando a flor. Vê de perto galo de Campinas, que quando canta muda de cor. Vai molhando os pés no riacho, de água fresca, Nossa Senhora. Vai olhando coisa grande, coisa que o modo velho. O cristão tem que andar a pé. Ai, ai, que bom, que bom, que bom que é uma estrada e uma cabocla no sertão de Canindé.
Maravilha, muito bom, muito bom. É por isso que eu te pedi. Sorry, people. That's why I ask you to make this little performance because I know that you have one relationship very straight, very close to this Brazilian specific regional culture. And for my very big deception, there's so few people here in Brazil that know this kind of acknowledging, that knows this kind of music, because we are polluted with some kind of very the worst kind of music that we can have.
But I think this is not a Brazilian thing. I think this is not only in Brazil. This is in a lot of other places as well. We get yeah. I mean,
Everywhere.
yeah. Well, the most people. Yeah. I mean, if you don't search for it, then you get just what is played on the radio, and that's not always. Yeah. But I got this relationship with the Northeast music. I really like it. Already before I went to Brazil, but when I lived in Brazil, and I lived in Recife, in Olinda, and I mean that's vibrant living with culture and musical culture, and The group where I then trained, which was Chapelle de Corde with Mestre Corisco, they took me to all kinds of events of forró, of the Afro-Brazilian culture, Afro-Che, Maracatu. I lived in Olinda, which is I was 50 meters from the Bar di Vigolino, where Mestre Salustiano played every Thursday. And on the other side of the street was A Quarto, which was every Friday, Saturday, Sunday there was Afro-Che or Maracatu. And then, so I mean, good.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's very beautiful. Our culture it's very vast and very beautiful. We have so great composers and people that left us so many very incredible pieces like that you sing it for us. And I think that we have one very bad relationship with our culture here in Brazil. And so it's so sad, so sad. Well, man, but I want to share with the people, if you don't have anything against that, I want to share a little point of view of your curriculum, because you send me and I am very impressed. I want to share it with people. Just a little overview. Of course, people will have not enough time, but we can talk about it. Meanwhile, I'm gonna show it for people. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, a moment.
But just one little comment. I think,
sure. Sorry.
Yeah, you say that the bad relation with Brazilian people with their own culture. I think it also has to do with the social structures in Brazil now, where a lot of those great composers came from social groups and social backgrounds that are not accepted, or they are marginalized, or no, and then whatever comes from that social group, it is looked down upon.
Yeah.
As with capoeira at the beginning. No?
Yes, of course, it's come from the same root. It's come from the popular culture of Brazil.
Yeah.
It's like the same there in Angola and German and Holland. Every country have this precious culture heritage from popular culture that is incredible. It's so beautiful, but we don't know really to appreciate it well. I'm sorry that it's happened, because the worst kind of music are coming always to the hit parade of the world. So worst thing that we have. Let's try to share my download. Yes. Well, here you are. Let me see what happened.
Are you actually going to show my curriculum?
Yes, I want to show it. I think that it's very important that people can know a little bit about our guest. You are my guest, and I have a very great. I admire a lot people that make things like you, because you are make capoeira since when? Tell a little bit about your career, your history of capoeira.
Capoeira. I started when I was 20. I first did athletics before, when I was a teenager. Capoeira, I didn't know. Like, there wasn't, where I lived, there was no capoeira. And then I always wanted to do a martial art, but what I found I didn't like. And then I was traveling in Australia for 2 years, Australia, New Zealand. And then I saw capoeira in Australia on a market. And then I asked what it was. And I said, do they have that in the Netherlands? And they said, yeah, in Amsterdam. And then 1 year later, I came back and I walked through the park, and the Vondelpark, Park, the central park in Amsterdam. And I saw again Capoeira Horda, which was actually the Horde of Mestre Marreta. And but at that moment, I wasn't living in Amsterdam. I was living in the south. So he gave me a number of Mestre Vladimir, and I started there, trained there for a year and a half, and then I moved to Amsterdam to study, and I continued with Mestre Marreta. And then after a few years, I moved to Brazil, stayed there for a year and a half. Then I returned to the Netherlands, started teaching in the Netherlands after a while, got my degree for a teacher. And then I moved to Portugal, and I lived there for 4 years. I set up my group there, and then then 3 years in Paris to study and to train, and now I'm back in the Netherlands.
Well, here we are, a part of your curriculum, and I want to talk a little bit about that. And I'm impressed that you are a citizen from Holland, and you never stopped capoeira since you started 22 years ago. Is that?
Yeah, I never stopped capoeira 22 years ago. No, like when I was injured or something, but then no. But no, I never stopped. No.
Yes, well, that's incredible. That's perfect. It's something that people
But
might.
not, I don't. Why is it? I mean, there's a lot of people who continue capoeira. No? I think. Yeah, I mean, it's. I don't know. It's. There, of course, there's a lot of people who stop in between because I don't know. That things happen. But I think there's also a lot of people who continue. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't see it as special, but okay.
Yeah. It's one life, man. It's one entire life. With 22 years, it's so many times. Much more because you have not a relationship straight with the Brazilian cultural, and you discover the language in Brazil, you discover the regional culture, the popular culture, the instrument, the music, everything. You go very deep on the way you are part of a movement, much more than us, the Brazilian people. We don't have this care with our culture, and it's very rare that we find someone that knows some lyrics that about this one that you play on the guitar. I know very few people that can sing it because it's not something that's common that play on radio, on the TV. You have not this kind of thing. Well, Filósofo, let's make people happy. Let's play one music more with the Berimbau, please. You have someone else, another music to show?
Another music.
Yeah, on Berimbau, maybe.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, which one? Huh? I'm gonna sing a song of Mestre Leopoldinho.
Okay.
Who's not among us anymore, but he came a lot to Amsterdam to our history event, and I've met him in Brazil as well. And he had one song that he sung a lot. At least it's my impression that he sung a lot. I heard it a lot of him, so I think it's a nice song. Yeah.
Alguém me diz, parece o Ganga Zumbi, foi o rei lá em Palmar. outra já me disse que na outra encarnação eu era rico, muito rico, tinha muita fazenda e um grande canavial. Eu era um bom padrão, sou mulher, eu te amo. Sou mulher, eu tinha 9 das idades variadas. Mas agora o que eu tenho é canteiro pra gastar. Mas tenho a graça divina, que é a minha companheira, e essa grande amizade dentro do meu coração. Camarada, reviva meu mestre, reviva meu mestre, camarada, que me ensinou, que me ensinou, camarada.
Very nice, man. Hello, there is someone that is saying hello. I asked them.
Yeah.
The student Casper. You might know who is the student from?
Casper?
No. Casper here. I don't know. I really don't. Welcome, Casper. Nice to know that you are here. There's someone else. Good evening, Misha here, student.
Yeah.
Video.
Berimbau
Van der Brandhoff. Of course, it might be on Holland. We have here one master that is a very friend of mine. He is J. Van Berg. But here in Brazil, his name becomes Van Berg. Berg. You might know him. He's a very friend of ours. Oh, Mestre Marreta com a gente. Welcome, Mestre Marreta, meu amigo, meu conterrâneo, um abraço. Quero conversar com você, Mestre Marreta, no programa aqui do Brasil, Berimbau Connection. Viu? Let's talk here. Mestre, eu vou te chamar aí pra gente conversar no programa Berimbau Connect, no Conversa ao Pé do Berimbau, ok? It's a Brazilian, in Portuguese program. Very nice. I admire a lot you and your work here in Brazil and over there and in Europe. Well, man, talk me about the places that you touch capoeira. I know from Portugal, France, Netherlands, and where else? Tell me.
Now that's where those 3 places is where I actually taught like structural. So where I had students that trained with me for a few years until there's a few reasons why I left Portugal to do my PhD in Paris, and then I left Paris because I met my girlfriend who lived in the Netherlands. So. But I was teaching there like structural, and then for the rest, I've been teaching on festivals, on events. But these 3 places are like where I stayed a few years and actually constructed a group. Yeah. And in Portugal, it was in Algesur mainly, and then also San Antonio and Odmira and Sambujeira do Mar. In Paris, it was Paris, right? And I taught at university there as well, Sciences Po, which is a political science university. And here I'm teaching in The Hague at the moment.
And what you were doing in Portugal was just living for a while. You were there making some university, some course, and some study.
Yeah, I just got my teaching degree of philosopher teacher, and then I could go a year abroad with some European program to get some experience abroad. And I chose Portugal, and then yeah, and I'm not going to do 1 year without doing capoeira. So I started to do capoeira. I was there. I met there another master from the group of Mestre Moy. Oh, he was from the group of Mestre Moy. Preservação de Mandinga is his group now. And I got to meet them, and then I started to teach at school, and then later on in other rooms. Yes.
You left some work there. There is some student of yours that is still playing capoeira.
There is. I have a few students there, at least. Well, they were training there with me, but they're not teaching themselves. So they started training then with somebody else. So I have a few, but I was there for 4 years, so it wasn't enough to have some, to.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a problem for capoeira. People think who are not capoeirista do not can imagine how far is to be prepared to give classes in capoeira. It's not easy, people. Who are doing capoeira might leave capoeira. You do not have the expectation to give class or give or receive some money or anything. We just dedicate our life for that. I'm with 47 years in capoeira. It's all my life. It's the most important thing. But if you ask me, how can you live with capoeira? I will say, I will never took it just a coin in capoeira, because I always have another way to gain my life and dedicate to capoeira. I think that we all make this. Maybe there in Europe, like in France, big cities like Lisbon or Amsterdam and Paris, you can make it. You can give classes and people pay for that. But in Brazil, it's not that easy, because there is so big number of offers of trainings in capoeira and for free, because that there are people that are looking for a student. Doesn't matter if they will gain or not in something. The important is to have it as a student. There is different in Europe, philosopher.
Yes. Yes, I think it is. I've been taught, like at the beginning, I thought I learned this actually in Portugal. I already taught in Amsterdam, and when people pay for the class. But then I worked at the school, and then I started to teach capoeira there as well as part of the program, and then for free because they gave me the room for free, and there were students also from the Portuguese-speaking countries. So, and then at a certain point, somebody told me, like, okay, you have to see if you say they have to pay, if they still remain. So I did, and not many remained. No. So yes, I think, and I learned you have to valorize your art. If it's capoeira or another art, I mean. You're always any person that practices art, that teaches art, has trouble often to gain his life. And if you don't valorize your work, then nobody else is going to valorize it. So yeah, I think, I mean, you don't have to pay. I mean, how much they're going to pay and all that. That's up to you, and it's up to also to, I think, the situation around you. Because the price in Portugal for a lesson, for instance, is different than the price here in the Netherlands for a lesson. It just has it's just a different economic situation. But I think you always should cobrar, what's called make sure that people valorize your art, and one way to valorize it is you have to pay for it. People do live here of capoeira, so you can. Also in Paris and also in Portugal. It depends on what you want from life, I guess. And I always was a man of many interests. So I've been on like when I started capoeira, I also started university. So these two things always have been together for me. somehow.
Yeah, sure.
And
I have here one curriculum of yours about your academic experience. That's very far, true. It's long. Huh? You're having also some experience in other countries, like let me see here. In Asia, there is some places on Asia. Huh? Don't you have you?
in Asia,
Yeah, I don't know. It's another country, a different countries that I saw it. Make it maybe in according. I don't know. Academic experiences, say teaching, philosopher,
I've been
teaching.
at university.
Yeah, from university.
Uh,
University of Amsterdam, capoeira teaching, profissional, Portuguese,
so
uh, secondary.
I've been teaching.
Karlsruhe is German. Have
Sorry,
you been in Karlsruhe? Karlsruhe. Yeah,
Karlsruhe. Yeah.
yeah. You teach there too. You
No,
live there.
no. That's where I'm registered for my PhD. So I've been teaching in Paris, in France, at university. I've been giving palestras, like readings, lectures in Brazil at university, in Recife and in Montes Claros, and yes, and then in the Netherlands in a few universities, and in Portugal, in Lisbon, I've been once or twice to do things there.
But there's another country here. I don't know exactly now. I cannot find it. Other technical experience in Dutch, English. You teach it. So I think that was in some project that you were in participating. Um, Australia. You lived in Australia.
I lived in Australia and New Zealand. Yeah,
New Zealand too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But that was when I was 18. I just bought a ticket and left, and then
How long do you stay there? How
2 years.
long?
2 years.
2 years. Oh, it's nice.
Yeah,
It's a nice country. You love it?
I liked it. Yeah, I mean, I was 18. I wanted to travel and work, and then travel and surf. I like to surf as well. So yeah, it was just my road to liberty, I guess.
Sure. Yeah. Master Maheta is saying for us that he is in capoeira for 45 years. Oh God. It's one entire life, people. It's incredible. And everybody that loves capoeira and becomes capoeirista for soul, never stop. Have no plans. We never know until where we can get, but we never stop. We go and go and go until Berimbau call us. It's that philosopher.
Yes, I think that's it. I mean, that's the nice thing about capoeira. I mean, even if you have some physical disability or there's other things, there's always a part of capoeira which you can continue. I hope to be well on my health for a long time still, and I don't see how I stop. So yes.
Sure, for sure. Nobody know. We never know where we are going to, but doesn't matter. Today is the day. Today is the moment. We are here playing capoeira, pandemics, problem, poverty here in Brazil, difficulty, problem to travel. Doesn't matter. We fight against everything to be there where capoeira, where Berimbau is inviting. Is that?
Yes, and one thing I learned, I think, in Brazil is that you really have to grasp the moment. That if it happens, it's then at that moment you just have to go there, and that's it, and that's where you have to be, and there's no of course, there's a tomorrow, but yeah, you have to enjoy what is there today as well.
Well, let's talk a little bit about our book
Yeah.
that we did together. It's incredible. First of all, tell to people a little bit about your research that becomes the opportunity to we talk to make that dialogue and becomes our book. You have some piece of the book on your hand?
Yes, this one.
Okay. Tell this history for people on by your point of view. I will let you talk alone.
How we got to the book? You mean?
Yeah, yes. First of all, about your research,
Yeah.
and then we had the opportunity to make this dialogue that become the book.
So it's part of a research that I am doing, which is a bit. It's on pause at the moment, but it's not stopped. I'm doing a PhD research about philosophy, education, and political theory. And the idea is basically how can we educate people, and especially at the secondary school and university, but also the primary school, how can we educate them to make better decisions in when the future is uncertain? Because there's a lot of we have a lot of global problems which have a certain degree of uncertainty that we didn't have before, like climate change, like nanotechnology, like things that we cannot just solve by doing some policy. But we still have to make decisions. So how can we educate people for that? And for that, I looked not just to formal education and theories about it, but also to informal education. And I see capoeira as a form of informal education. And for that, I wanted to, well, obviously there's a literature research, but also I wanted to interview various masters from various vertentes, various capoeira traditions to see how they think about capoeira. There's capoeira masters like you who also have a higher education, who work on the side, have other research as well. There's other capoeira masters who can hardly read or write, but they're already teaching for 40 or 50 years. So they are forming persons. So I interviewed about 25 masters from various places as well. There's not only, so various places in Brazil and various traditions in capoeira. And and therefore I asked you to be able to talk to you, and we had a great conversation, a great interview. I guess I think it took us 3 hours or something.
3 hours and a half.
3.5. Oh, 3.5.
Yeah, 3 hours and a half.
Yeah, so we didn't really stop. So, but it was nice, and it and then we had the idea to make a book out of it. It was our idea. So that's what we did. Yeah, and I think we had a great conversation. We talked about it, about capoeira as an educative medium, right? But also things within capoeira, certain tendencies within capoeira, things that you find, things that are in debate within capoeiras, like tradition, what is actually truth in capoeira.
What's the real hard, or what's the real capoeira as a atmosphere? As true. We talk about that. Capoeira is true.
Yeah. Street capoeira, yeah. So the street rodas, and but also and the various academics and the various methods, capoeira as a system, yeah. It was a really good interview, and it's a really great book.
For sure. Mine are completely, and you know that after those 500 that we printed in Portugal, I print more 1,000 here in Brazil, and I just stopped to sell it, to share this book with people, because I started another one that is the faca de dois gumes of the ego, and it becomes a very important. People talk about it a lot, and we start making a program on a live with the participation of master. It becomes something that people grows a lot the interest on that. So that's why I let it a little bit far, but I know that's a very important uh, piece that we wrote, and I know that have some answer there that make the good sense, the balance about capoeira as matter of education. That we know that it's used all around the world as education, popular education. It's something that cultural approach and put people on the atmosphere of a convivence, of a relationship, a social uh, great network, and many things. But we cannot put on our shoulders the responsibility to teach people how to write, for example, and
How
people
to?
some wrote to write.
Oh, to write? No, no.
To write, yes. Sorry. It's some time they left it for capoeira as a responsibility, and I think that we put a limit. Oh, capoeira can teach and to hear a style of life, social consciousness. We have cultural heritage, conscience, and I know any things that we can see in capoeira, but we cannot have on our shoulder the responsibility. For example, let's talk about something that don't matter very, very recent. I know you share with me something, and I read it in many places on the internet about the ethic, the criminal minds in capoeira, the criminal behavior, because exploring children's it's crime. It's not another thing. People sometimes have the way to say, it's something. It's a escape. No, it's crime. The word is crime. What do you think about that, man?
It's in Portuguese we call it lamentável. It's really sad, and yeah, of course it is a crime. And you sometimes hear stories, and well, apparently now the stories came together. But yes, so we have all these things in capoeira, which you told about now, about education, about all cultural heritage and all that. The great things about capoeira, but when capoeira went global, it also became a way to earn your money and to gain status. And that way of some people call the corporization of capoeira now, just like making it
like corporative.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I think that creates a ground, that creates a possibility situation for these things easier to happen. It doesn't mean it only happens in capoeira. It doesn't mean without that it wouldn't happen. But because I'm a teacher, right? I'm also a school teacher. And if I look at my classes, like at school, secondary school, I think in each class there's at least one or two kids, like a class of 30, at least one or two kids who experience abuse. If it's physical, psychological, sexual abuse, and it's often it's from their parents. So, I mean, it's apparently men does these kind of things, and these are crimes, and these should be investigated and punished. But yes, I think we can think in capoeira, because we cannot solve the whole world, right? But within capoeira, I think we can think about how we can make the possibility for this to happen, or the advantage situation for this to happen as small as possible. And there's a few things. One is the English word is, I think, idolatry. Idolatry.
Idolatry.
Yes.
Idolatry.
Of certain persons, of masters, for instance. Of course, masters deserve respect because of their path in capoeira, the knowledge they have, etc., the experience. But people are people, and if idolatry is dangerous because it takes away your critical perception. And you cannot just accept everything from somebody, even if it's the king. My father used to work in a shop in the Netherlands, where sometimes actually the king of the Netherlands came to buy some stuff, and he told me, it's just a person, and they want to be also they want to be treated as person. So. And the same with these kind of hierarchical structures within capoeira as well. We have to be careful of that. I think there's a difference between respect and between idolatry. And and I talked with somebody who also said, we also our systems maybe of how we graduate persons, how we bring them up, because as you read the article of this group where it happens, they have to pass certain rituals, the rituals of the group, to get a certain degree, teacher degree or master degree. And it's because there's so much status to this type of degrees connected, and also money, because I mean, if you're invited for an event and you're a teacher or a master, there's a different story, So that we have to think about if it's wise, and if that is actually what it should be about. I mean, what do we want to teach with capoeira? How do we? It's the same as if you bring up a child. How do you want your child to stand in the world, right? And what should be his or her values? And if we have an idea about that, then we should also carry out those values or demonstrate these values in our daily practice of capoeira.
Yeah, it's very word for us that we are capoeira. We are masters, we are professional, and much more, we are responsible for the atmosphere, the environment of capoeira, the social environment, and we have the responsibility to make capoeira a place that might be safe. People that are inside capoeira might feel safe yourself. They never might be prevented that some children can be molested by the master. Oh my God, Of course, we have something that we might take care about talking about it, because the justice didn't decide yet about the process. Okay, so it's important. Everything that is just now going on, people are talking, people are reflecting about that and thinking on it, because it's horrible that we have some moments like that we need to discuss and perceive that we are, as human, we are full of possibility to fail very hardly on the life of people that are under our responsibility. Mestre Marreta is sharing something that Mariana is talking, that we should not be afraid to talk about it. I'm not afraid. I just have the care to care, because the process, it's not finished yet. We can talk about the matter. There's a matter who are involved. The matter itself, it's very horrible. It's scary that we have things like that that's going on, can happen. But about the case that it's very shared over on the network, it's not finished. Okay, so about the judgment that we have to take care, Marian, it's just what about this thing.
Well, there was
People should not stay silent. This is not only capoeira, but in all groups where power is involved. I agree totally with you, Mariana. I know that power is a very great risk for humankind, human being, and it's almost impossible to avoid to have power. This is the great, the worst reason about that.
well, the
But
thing
go
is,
ahead, philosopher, tell me.
as a well, I think one of the philosophers who talked about power is Foucault, Michel Foucault, a French philosopher, and he came with a third type of power. You have power in terms of position, power in terms of economic power, but he says the actual power which really matters is the power that resides in relations. So power is not a thing that you can grasp. Power is not something which you grasp. Power is given. So so it depends on the people who give the power to a person. If the person has power, yeah. So if, for instance, if if your president, if nobody listens to him anymore at certain moments, and nobody does anything anymore what he says, then he has no power. Yeah. So it's within the relation. So that's what I wanted to, and that has also to do with idolatry. These persons are criminals. Yeah, they should be prosecuted, and if the proof is right, then they just should be punished. But at the same time, the persons who are in these groups, who are looking for a certain I don't know what they're looking for, but a certain way of experience, of togetherness, perhaps, I don't know. They also have to look at themselves, like what do I give away of myself to a person like that? Yeah. I think you should always remain some kind of critical consciousness about what's happening. And obviously, if you're a child and a lot of these children, at least in the article, it says a lot of these children came from poor backgrounds, often poor education. So then they're very vulnerable. Yeah, with children it's different. But these groups are they don't only consist of children. They're also adults there. And for instance, there's one person actually of the same group here in the Netherlands who has come to for the judge. And it's actually the adults of his group that then took measures and throw him out, and they started for themselves. So so it doesn't only happen in Brazil; it also happens here.
Our law is still weak. You know, our laws do not deal for two ways to face this kind of problem. We have 600 of women that it's killed a year
in domestic violence.
My God, it's really impossible to understand. There's no reason, never. Because of the poverty, because of the economical condition, because the religion. Anyway, it cannot happen. Excuse, it cannot be excused. But some of these criminals, this killer, are free because of money, power. They pay a lot for the best of lawyers, and they have many alternative to face the justice. First of all, on free because they are the primary criminal. We have this kind of stuff. So why do we have this kind of treatment for the criminal? We're gonna still happen
But
crime. I
yes,
think so.
I think it's. I mean, if you only look, I mean, in many places of the world, men and women are not seen as equal. And I think it starts there. If you see the debates and discussions the last years, only within capoeira, about the place of the woman in capoeira. No? We had a lot of female events. It started often there, but then it became more and more of a discussion. But even now, when yeah, women have a common place in capoeira, and some of them have become masters and stuff. Yeah, it is getting better, but there's if you see the level of machismo of treating, still there's still a lot to go, and then capoeira is an emancipatory practice, so that's somewhere in front of the rest of the people. So if capoeira already has so many problems with equality between men and women, then imagine how the rest of Brazil, but also other places. Yeah, there's a long way to go.
Well, philosopher, we at this moment, I think that all around the world, the capoeiras are talking about this problem. Even we don't have these people become free from the process because the justice has its own sense and reason and law that might be followed, and the way the people face is, as I said, a good lawyer and anything. Anyway, I think that after this moment, capoeira become much more seriously facing this. I have a message from one guy from Fortaleza right now in my mailbox asking me to help them how they might deal with this situation because they are the good part of the group. They are the responsible for the lots of young people that plays and train capoeira there. And what I can say, first of all, what the great masters of the group did, they jumped out of the boat. Uh, I think that is the first moment. Meanwhile, the justice decide, and once they don't have really not no relationship with this problem, they might jump out. Of course, go stay forward. Once,
Yes, actually, the main master, the leader of the whole group, said to his no, in a message like, if this is if this is atrapalhando, like it's this is blocking or disturbing your work, please find another name and logo. But I mean, another name or logo is not going to change anything. I mean, it's just another name and logo. If you
yeah,
don't
sure.
not only your behavior but also your perception of things, and if you don't critically look at what you are doing, then another name or logo is not going to help anything. And
Yeah, but if they don't have non relationship with this process at last,
yeah,
they might not stay
well, of course,
forward.
I mean, obviously, the name of the group has been tainted,
Yeah,
uh,
sure.
but so that could be a reason. But um, yes, I mean, if you are so many years, you were part of this group, um, and yeah, masters 30, 40 years, you were part of this group, and you never noticed anything, you never heard any story, then you also have to ask yourself, how come? Yeah,
Sure.
because we hear them here in Europe. So, and you're part of a group. So, I don't know. There was also this message going around of another master who was then saying, I don't have anything to do with this. I know what you did, but I don't do this. But if you know that somebody else did it, I mean, you're part of the problem, right? If you don't do anything.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, exactly. If you do not make no gesture, if you do not talk about it, if you just stay silent on your corner, waiting for the storming goes away, so of course you are mixed with the problem, for sure. That's my point of view too. Well, Filósofo, our program normally we have 1 hour.
Really?
Yeah,
Last
but
time.
we have no problem. We pace the time that you want. But I let it for you. First of all, one music more on the guitar. For we finish with this music, and after we talk about the last considerations. That's okay. Perfect. Please.
Another music.
Yes, please. With the guitar.
I'll try. Okay.
Okay. Well, please.
Tudo em volta é só beleza. Sol de abril e mata em flor, mas assum preto chego dos olhos, na vendo a luz, ai, canta de dor, mas assum preto chego dos olhos, na vendo a luz, ai, canta de dor. Na 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 na. Talvez por ignorância ou maldade das pior, furaram os olhos de assum preto, pra ele assim, ai, canta-me, furaram os olhos de assum preto, pra ele assim, ai, canta-me, na 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 na. Assum preto verde solto, mas não pude pra voar. 1000 vezes acima de gaiola, desce o céu a poder sonhar. 1000 vezes acima de gaiola, desce o céu a poder sonhar. Assum preto, meu cantar é tão triste como o teu. Também roubaram o meu amor, que era a luz, ai, dos olhos meus. Também roubaram o meu amor, que era a luz, ai, dos olhos meus. Na 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 na. Na, 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 na.
Beleza, filósofo. Isso aí é do velho grandioso Luiz Gonzaga, né? Assum Preto. Maravilha. Caetano Veloso já gravou, teve muitas gravações dessa música, porque ela é belíssima, é muito linda.
É bonito.
É uma pena, né, que... Sorry, people, I'm talking in Portuguese, it's instinctive. No, this is a very beautiful music, for sure. And few people knows, even in Brazil, this music. Mestre Marreta, of course, knows it because it's very common there in our city, Montes Claros. It's very common. It's very popular. Well, philosopher, we are here to say our few words else about our conversation, and I will let you choose what you want to talk about, please.
What I want to talk about?
Yeah, please.
I don't know. I think we talked about a lot of things. I think,
Yeah, for sure. The last time we talked was 3 hours and a half, man.
Yeah,
Let's take care because people are gonna sleep on the computer.
Yes, and also here in the Netherlands, it's already 10:30, so in the evening.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you for the opportunity for this interview, and obviously I want to thank my master, Mestre Marreta, who gave me the opportunity also to get to know other people as well, other groups, other styles, etc. I always been a bit of a traveler, so I had various other people with whom I trained and who I learned things from. I think everybody does. At a certain point, when you reach a certain level of capoeira, you have to travel and you have to see the rest of the world, and you learn things from all kinds of people. So yes, and I want to thank all for that. I want to thank my students as well, whom I learn every day from, and yes, as well at school as with capoeira. They're a good mirror, and my girlfriend, of course, Misha,
Sure.
who's going to be my wife very soon. So, yeah.
Very nice. Let us meet her, please. Show her for us.
You want to meet her?
Yeah, sure.
I hope she's
Just
still.
to say hello and come.
I hope she's still awake.
Yeah, please.
Just a moment. I'll see if she's there. Miss? All right.
Hello. She's beautiful. Oh, hi. Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you, Mr. Skisyto.
Oh, so good. I hope we can back travel to Europe so I can visit you. Of course, it's almost impossible to take part on your marriage because it might be very beautiful.
But you will.
But I wish you all the best, the good luck. 4 children, that's okay.
I think the next time you're here, you might meet our first child.
Yeah, oh, so nice. I hope so. Yes, Mestre Marreta already invited me to. Mestre Marreta, we're gonna talk with you on maybe in 2 weeks on the future. And we're gonna talk, of course, in our program in Portuguese that is on Tuesday, 7 p.m. here in Brazil. Okay, Mestre Marreta, we're gonna talk very soon. But which is her name?
Misha.
Yeah. Misha.
Misha. SCH.
Misha. It's a Holland. It's a Dutch name. It's Dutch name.
Russian.
Yeah.
Russian.
I'm Russian. Oh,
I'm
no.
Russian. It's just.
Are you Russian? Yes.
I'm Dutch.
Mm.
It's just a name that comes from Russia.
Okay. Sure. You look like Dutch. So beautiful as the women's, many women in there in Holland. We have some beautiful women here, also like mine. I'm married with very beautiful mine, but she's very brave. Mas Marreta is saying that we're gonna talk. Yes, thank you, Master Marreta. Well, Misha, well, philosophy, so nice to talk. I I think that today it's a holiday here in Brazil. I don't know if there is also no. It's holiday there in Holland today.
No, no.
Uh, Today it's a Christian, something Christian from the Catholic Church that we have lots of people from this, and they have many days on the year that a holiday for them, and so we share it, we use it, we enjoy it too.
That's the good thing about Catholic countries. They have a lot of same days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I wish you the best, good luck, and very beautiful marriage. Okay,
Thank you very
for
much.
you. So too. Philosopher, I want to say thank you so much for your support, for be part of this project. I'm come back because there is few months that I stopped because we were changing our platform. So I still have some problem. That's why I didn't share in all channel we have. We have five channel. Okay, I just share in one channel that is mine, my channel on YouTube, and yours. Okay, after we finish it, I will erase. Okay, for nobody use your channel to publish stuffs, bad stuffs.
But if you want to, you make you recorded it or not?
No, it's recorded. It's on your channel. It's
Yeah,
it's there.
exactly.
It's recorded there. Okay.
You
You
can
can
send
you can also edit it if you want,
yes.
because it's very big. The video, it's 1 hour and 25 minutes, too big. So we can cut and part of what we really want and share it, these parts with different name and edit it. That is better. Okay. Okay, man. I want to say thank you so much. Our next guest for talk here is a very friend of yours. That's Vaquero. They're
Ah,
from Munich,
yes.
München,
München. München.
München.
Yeah.
So, and I send the post for him, and he say, "Oh, Filósofo is a great friend of mine. I want to take part, but it's Papo of Capoeira. He is not here.
He's not.
That,
He's
but
got.
you're gonna have a revenge against him. When was his time? You come and say, man, I have my word, and I follow it."
He's just gonna see the summary. He's just gonna miss the rest.
Yeah. Okay, my friend. Mestre Marreta, meu abraço. Mariana, a big hug for you. Everybody that is with us.
Muito obrigado,
It's
mestre.
here. Thank you. Grato a você, filósofo. Abraço. Abraço, Misha.
Abraço, mestre.
Deu tudo de bom. Bye, people. See you very soon. Next Thursday, okay? With
Yes.
Berimbau Connection.
See you then.